Hello everyone, welcome to Education Lecture. In this video, I'll be teaching you the 9th chapter, that is Financial Management. So if you're new to my channel, then subscribe my channel to get further new updates. So as I told in my previous video, I'll be teaching you and telling you all the important concepts and the corresponding marks of each concept, and I'll be telling you the meaning of the unknown words also. So let's get started, and before getting started, I want to say that is from this chapter, that is from your Financial Management, you have 11 marks. That is, you'll be getting 11 marks according to your blueprint. So you may be getting questions like 8 marker, 5 marker, practical oriented, that is 4 marker, 2 marker, 1 marker. And from this chapter, this is from part B. So according to part B textbook, this is your first chapter according to your part B. Okay. So I would start it. So what do you understand by financial management? So it is like meaning only, definition. So as you can see, according to, every time, please don't forget it, every time a definition will be started with the word starting with according to. So according to only resembles that it is a definition. So as I told, definition you can use anywhere, and as told in my previous videos, a definition can be used for a 1 marker if they ask you a question, or for a 2 marker, and for a 8 marker, of course, you have to write an introduction part, and there you have to write the definition according to the question given to you. So according to S.N. Maheshwari, financial management is concerned with raising financial resources and their effective utilizations towards achieving organization goals. So to raise something financial, that is, financial refers to money. To raise something financial means funds or investing somewhere. So according to that, what are the effective uses we get from that to achieve our organization goals? So if I have to relate and say, that is according to your functions of management. So after all your functions of management have done, after everything is now we have to do a financing, we have to manage with the finances of an organization. So that is only they have given in this chapter, financial management. Okay. So what of these utilization of the finances only, we will be that is also a part. Okay. The efforts of the employees or the finances which are invested in the organization, these and all are all together which comes and gives rise to the organization to achieve their goals. Okay. So what is business finance? So I would like to say this is a 2 marker. Okay, if they may ask you for 1 marker, that time you will be wondering what we have to write for 1 marker. You can write this same only. Okay. So what is business finance? So this is a 1 mark question. Money required for carrying out business activities is called business finance. So finance, as I told, it is money. Okay, they won't use the word money over here, overall the business. They will use finance, capital, fund. Okay, like that they will use. So what is business finance? They are saying, for starting a business, we need some amount of money with us. Then only we can proceed the business. Then whatever is needed for business, we can do by investing some money, by spending some money. So the business activities, to carry out business activities, is called business finance. Next, give an example for fixed asset. So many of the accountancy students may be knowing what is fixed asset, current asset. So those and all. So for arts students, they may not be knowing what is a fixed asset. Fixed asset is an asset which is fixed, which cannot be changed. Okay. So that is which fixed, like land, building, machinery, furniture. These are examples. So for example, if you purchase an land, that land is owned by you because you have purchased. So it is fixed. That is related to you. No one won't come and say that this is my land. How can you do that? You have purchased, you have the warranty, guarantee, everything. Okay, everything you have. So that is fixed to you only. You can't do anything with that. That is your own property. Same like building, machinery, furniture also. So when you are purchasing for a business, everything is fixed because you are only purchasing it on your own money. Next is, give an example for current asset, that is cash in hand, cash at hand, bank. Okay, so current assets which is not fixed. Okay, cash may come, cash may go. Okay, sometimes it may be there in bank, sometimes we may withdraw from the bank, sometimes we may deposit in the bank, so anything may happen. So it is not fixed in one place. Okay, so next is why fixed capital is needed in business. So why do we need a fixed capital? So the word fixed and capital, as I told, it is money. Why we need in a business, they are asking in short for 1 mark. To purchase fixed assets. So you can see fixed capital, fixed assets. So if you have some amount of money, for example, when you are going to start an organization, you need some amount of money with you. Okay, with you only you should have some amount of money in advance. Okay, you should have that money. With that money only you will be able to purchase a land and whatever assets which are needed for your business. Okay, so only we need some amount of fixed capital with us. For example, when you are going to purchase a land and build your own house, that time you will have some savings with you, right? Some amount of savings your parents, of course, they would have saved with them. So with that money they would purchase the land, and how much money, little money will be used for building. If that is not that is not able to fulfill everything, what are the building equipments to give those money, what they will do, that time they will take money from bank. So far what we did, the fixed capital whichever we had with us, that is fixed. Okay, next is why working capital is needed in business. The answer is to meet day-to-day expenses. Example, purchase of raw material, payment of wages. I hope you can see. I'm sorry you could not see. Payment of wages. So working capital. So this is also like a current asset like. Okay, just now we saw what is current asset, that is cash in hand and cash at bank. So it doesn't be with us only. So your parents, you may be seeing, they may be using day-to-day expenses. So suddenly they may be going for shopping to buy vegetables, fruit. The next day, the next 2-3 days, again the stock of vegetables may be over. Again they would go. So those are day-to-day expenses, like purchase of raw materials. In a business also, they day-to-day what they purchase, the raw materials, that is your machinery, tools, whatever materials which are needed to proceed your business. Next is payment of wages. As I told, wages are those things which are paid to a person on daily basis. So if you produce 10 products today, according to that products, today only you will be paid money. Okay, that is wages. The salary is a thing which is paid monthly once. Okay, next is write any two differences between fixed capital and working capital. So what are those two differences? Fixed capital, it is a long term, because long term, how could I say, is when you purchase a land or a building, okay, that time it will be long term until you are also there and it belongs to you only the whole life. Working capital, it is a short term because it is used on day-to-day basis and it doesn't be more than a day with us. So what is fixed capital? To purchase of fixed asset, we use fixed capital. Working capital, to meet day-to-day expenses, we use working capital. So example is land, building, machinery, furniture. Here for working capital, example, purchase of raw materials, payment of wages. Okay, so these are our things which we do on daily basis. So next is state the primary objective. Objective means they may ask you as aim also of financial management. So the primary objective, aim of financial management is to maximize shareholders' wealth maximization. So what they are saying is to maximize shareholders. Shareholders are those who invest their shares in our company, or we invest our shares, that is a few amount of money in their business. Okay, so when they do like that, we think that they should get to maximize shareholders' wealth. So what this primary objective of financial management is saying, that we have to maximize, increase the shareholders' wealth, that is to increase the amount of money. Okay, shareholders. So next is, what do you understand by capital structure? It refers to the mix between owner's fund and borrowed fund, combination of owner's fund and borrowed fund. So here they are saying what is a capital structure. Okay, so what is the structure of capital? According to you, they are asking what you understand by it. It doesn't mean that you write your own answer. They have given you a correct answer over here. It refers to mix. So there is a mix between owner's fund and borrowed fund. Okay, that is the combination of owner's fund and borrowed fund. Means now, as I told, when you are going to build a house and a land you are going to purchase, at that time you are the owner of the house because that is your own house. So you will have few money with you. Okay, that is your owner. You are the owner of the house, so your owner's fund. So borrowed fund. So you need some amount of extra money to build still more your house. That time what you do, you borrow from the bank. So that is borrowed fund. So both you combine together is called capital structure. So that only you are going to, with that money only you are going to start a business. Okay. So next is give to example for owner's fund. That is equity share or retained earnings. This I know, of course, many of the accountancy students will be knowing what are equity shares, retained earnings. But here I won't go so detailedly because it is business studies and thus they have asked you just an example. Okay, equity share, retained earnings. So in this one you can see the whichever money we had with us. Okay, for starting the business. Next is to give, that is the next question. Give to example for borrowed fund. Debenture, loan from banks. So borrowed fund, as I told, taking borrowing money from banks. Okay. So next is current assets are those assets which get converted into cash. For MCQ question, within 6 months, within 1 year, between 1 year and 3 months, between 3 and 5 years, within 1 year. Current assets are those assets, as I like to say, an asset is a thing. Yeah, asset is like furniture, machineries, like that kind assets, okay, which can be touched and which can be used. So they are saying here, how can we current assets, those assets which can be converted. So when you sell any asset, so when you sell a cupboard from your house or anything, a cupboard or TV showcase or anything, so when you sell that, within how many months will you be getting cash? So when you sell, automatically the next minute only it won't get sold. It will take some time, everything. So they are saying for a current asset, when it is sold to get into cash, it takes within 1 year. So within 1 year it gets converted into cash. Next is how do you calculate net working capital? So this is like a formula, and your previous video also in that chapter controlling you had 2 formulas. So this is your third formula, and I would like to say they won't ask you any questions with this formula, that is do any sum like that. All they want to ask, just for 1 mark they have asked you what is the formula, that's it. Okay, so how do you calculate net working capital? So net working capital is equal to current asset minus current liability. Okay, current asset. So for the example of current asset, it may be bills receivable. So this lesson, right, a few of the concepts are like what it comes in accountancy. Okay, so bills receivable, prepaid expense, cash in hand, cash at bank, debtors. Example of current liability, bills payable, creditors, outstanding expenses. So current asset, current liability, both, right, we won't have money in our hand only. Some or the other expenses will be coming, it will be going out, like that. Okay, see here bills receivable, so bills are received, cash in hand, cash at bank, sometimes it may be there in bank or in our hand. Here bills payable, so whatever bills we received, according to that we are paying the money back. Okay, that is bills payable. So I don't want just to confuse you and all, just I'm saying what it resembles. So next is the decision of acquiring, that is purchasing a new machine or opening a new branch, is an example for financing decision, investment decision, working capital decision, none of the above. So the answer is investment decision, and as I told in my previous video, you have to write the option number or option letter, anything they have given, you have to write then you have to write your answer. So what they are saying, when you have a decision of purchasing any new machinery or opening a new branch, okay, so what do you do? Is an example for what does it resemble. So that is financing decision, means we are investing money somewhere, means we are using money. Okay, investment decision is the answer, and investment decision, you invest some money in bank or in your business to start a new branch or to buy a new machinery. That is called investment decision. You may be thinking, we are using that finance only, right? That for purchasing, because they are given purchasing here. No, not like that. Before giving finance, before giving money, what is the thing you do? You invest. First you pay there. So you are investing money, that I will be doing this job, so I am investing here. That is called investment decision. Next is the decision of how much to be raised from which source is an example for financing decision, investment decision, working capital decision, none of the above. So answer is financing decision. Now you may be thinking, after we invest, okay, after we invest in a business, next procedure is we have to think how much each part of the business may be taking. If you purchase machineries, how much each machinery, different kinds of machineries, how much does it cost? So it is related to money. So we are taking decision related to finance. That is called financing decision. You may be thinking that these two are little like general knowledge questions, like how we have to think. Okay, like that only it is. Next is expand ROI. ROI refers to return on investment. Okay, so whatever you are invested, you get returns on that. Next is write the meaning of financial risk. So what risk you will be getting? Okay, it refers to a position when a company is unable to meet its fixed financial charges, namely interest payment, preference, dividend, and repayment obligations. Now, this risk occurs when a company is unable. So when you have started any company, you have you have invested your money in some of the fixed financial charges, like you have invested in interest. So when you invest somewhere, you get, no, if someone has invested in your company, you have to pay interest to them. So interest or preference, dividend or repayment obligation, so you are repaying the money. So these and all when you don't have money only in your hand, because for example your company is running under loss and you don't have money only in your hand, at that time all the persons who have invested in your company will come looking for them. You have not paid us interest at all this month. Then your workers will come, sir or madam, you have not paid us salary this month. So what can we do that time? That is called financial risk, because we don't have finance in hand. So that the risk is occurring over there. Next is give the meaning of investment decision with an example. So investment decision relates to how the firm's funds are invested in different assets. So when, as I told, first before purchasing anything, we invest money on that. So when they take decision on how a firm's fund, that is a firm where it should go and invest, where it has to spend money, in which asset it has to purchase, whether we have to put money over there, like that. That is called investment decision. Next, investment decision can be long term or short term. Sometimes when we invest, it may be for a short period of time, that is at a one installment we pay everything, or sometimes a long term. Sometimes we may invest, it will be going on like a loan, right? Loan and all, some may be taken for 10 years and monthly or yearly they will be paying money. So it may be long term. And as you can see, in this question, there are 4 points. Sometimes they may ask you for 2 marker or 1 marker. You can write this point and an example anyhow you wish. Okay, so next is long-term investment. So here only we saw that it may be long-term or short-term. So if it is a long-term investment decision, also called as, so a long-term investment decision is called capital budgetary decision. Capital budgetary decision. So example for that is investment in new machinery. So as you know, nowadays new technologies are arising and new machineries may be costing a lot. So that time we have to invest for a long period of time because we are unable to pay the money at the appropriate time. Okay, next is short-term investment decision, also called as working capital decision. Example, decision about the levels of cash in hand. Okay, so this is short-term. Sometimes some money may be there in our hand, sometimes it won't be there in our hand. Okay. Working capital, cash in hand. Okay, sometimes it may be there, sometimes it won't be there. So the decision depends on how our company level is. It is in a higher position or a lower position. According to that only, the money will stay on our hand. Yeah, that's this answer. But I want to tell you one thing. To maximum shareholders' wealth. About shareholder, if I have to share in short, that is shareholder is also called a stakeholder. And he is the owner of the company. Shareholders are the owners of the company. So what they will try is to achieve to get maximum wealth. That is, they think that they should get maximum profit. Okay. Because I'm saying in middle of like this is while explaining the other concept, I felt like unsatisfied with the explanation what I have done. I'm sorry for it. Okay. Suddenly I remember the point solely I have told. I'm very sorry for interrupting. So I will go to next concept. Give the meaning of dividend decision. So just now we saw here above investment decision. Next is dividend decision. Dividend decision relate to how much of the profit earned by the company is to be distributed to the shareholders in the form of dividend and how much profit should be retained in the business. So if for example you have a big organization, big business, so if you get a profit, you get a maximum profit this year because your business was very good and you have a lot of profit. So how will you distribute that? Okay, what do you do? Distributed to the shareholders in the form of dividend. So for shareholders we pay the money in the form of dividend. Okay, so we pay to the shareholders and next for the remaining profit we may retain in our business only. That is, we may keep with ourselves as a savings also. Sometimes a business may be carried out as a one person. When it is, you might have seen in shops and all, right? So, a shop, for example, you and your another friend has started a business of anything like any shop like stationery shop or any snack shop, anything. So, you both, one person has given investment in your in your business. So when you get a profit, you have to give a share to your friend because he or she has invested in your business. So you pay them, then the remaining money what you do, you may retain in your business, that is keep as a saving. Keep with yourself or keep in the business only. Okay, that is you may keep in your bank as a saving anyhow. See, I have written here, just now I told that shareholders are the owners of the shareholders and owner of shares in the company. So whatever share comes, he or she is the owner. Next is state the twin objectives of financial planning. So this often they ask this question, what is financial planning and trading on equity? So and I would like to say this chapter is little small, so I would finish in one video only. There are no part 1, part 2 and all. So to ensure availability of funds whenever required, to see that the firm does not raise resources unnecessarily. So when you start a business, you have to do before only what are the financial planning you are going to do. So what are the main two things you need to do is to ensure availability of funds whenever required. So whenever there is an urgency in your business, you have to settle down all your loans or anything, and you have a great profit in your business. At that time, you should be able to take some funds from your business to settle other things also. Okay, so whenever emergency, your business should be able to give money, okay, whenever required. Okay, next is to see that the firm does not raise resources unnecessary. So unnecessary resources, like you may be having a good and perfect excellent machinery, okay, and it is working good for your business. Next, what your friend or your colleagues may be coming and saying that to purchase this machinery, it is this is also excellent, this cost, it works like this, like that, and you purchase that also, and it doesn't use the other, so it is like wasting the resources. So a business, a firm should not raise such unnecessary resources. Okay, you should not spend money on unnecessary things. You have to think and spend everything. Next is give the meaning of trading on equity. Trading on equity refers to the increase in profit earned by the equity shareholders due to the presence of fixed financial charges like interest. Now, here the business is having a fixed financial charges and everything is going quite good. So, and there is an increase in profit earned by the equity shareholders. The increase, how it has occurred? Because of our fixed financial charges. Our charges are fixed, everything is settled, and we are getting interest, everything is perfect, so the profit has increased. Okay, next is explain any 4 factors affecting dividend decision. So as I told, you have to write an introduction part, and this is a 4 marker, but still sometimes you can write an introduction part if you feel that the 4 marker question is too short to look. At that time, if you remember the introduction, you can of course write it. So dividend is that portion of profit which is distributed to the shareholders. So dividend is a thing which is distributed or given to the shareholders. That is a profit. Dividend decision involves how much of profit earned by the company is to be distributed to the shareholders and how much of it should be retained in the business. So how much of the profit should be given to the shareholders and how much should be retained in the business itself. That is called dividend decision. Next is factor affecting. So what are the factors which are affecting the dividend decision? Stability of earnings. If a company having stable earnings, it is in a better position to declare higher dividends. If a company having unstable earnings, it will pay smaller amount of dividends. So sometimes a company, right, it will be having a good profit in the company, so there will be an increase and it will be a better position. So those better position and they are little in a higher level, so those higher level companies will pay little higher dividends to their shareholders. Those companies whose earnings is unstable, that is their profit may 1 year increase, 1 year decrease, anyhow may be there. For that time, for them, right, they pay very small amount of dividend to their shareholders. Next is growth opportunity. So this is asked as an MCQ question, and as I told in my previous video, this underlined, wherever I have underlined in between the answers is your key important words. Okay, the dividend is a in growth companies is smaller than that in a non-growth company. So growth opportunities, sometimes, right, the dividend is small, that is it is paid small to to the shareholders because there is a growth in the company, and that in the non-growth company than that. Okay, than that in the non-growth company may be paying for example 10 rupees to the shareholder. Because of this growth company, they may be paying smaller amount, that is 5 rupees. Okay, like that. You may be wondering, what is this? Just now you told the good condition companies will be paying good dividends, and this you are saying just the opposite. Please listen it. Here they have given stable earnings. Okay, earnings. Please note it. Earnings only. Here they have given growth of the company. So the growth of the company. Okay, shareholders preference. If the shareholders in general desire that at least a certain amount is paid as dividend, the companies are likely to declare the dividend. So some of the shareholders will be like, see how much ever profit you get, pay me a little. That is more than enough. That means every company will agree, because how much ever we are able to pay, we are paying them. So they declare the dividend. Okay, we will pay you dividend, they will say off. Next is amount of earnings. Dividends are paid out of current and past earnings. Therefore, earnings is a major factor of the dividend decision. So dividend is the thing, it is a part of profit only we pay to the shareholders. Now, dividend, whatever we have in stock, that is, we will be having savings, right? That is your past earnings, and current earnings is the currently whatever money you have received. So therefore, earning is a major factor for a dividend. Why earning is a major factor is sometimes your earning may be good, your profit may be going with the higher position, so you may be able to pay. Sometimes when you're not able to pay the same amount which the shareholder is asking, at that time what you do, the current fee amount also, the current fee amount together you pay your past savings amount also. So next is MCQ question. Companies with higher growth pattern are likely, option A, to pay higher dividend, higher growth. Please see higher growth. Okay. Option B, to buy lower dividend. Dividends are not affected by growth issues, none of the above. To pay lower dividend, because the growth of the company, when the growth is high, the company need not pay a higher dividend. Okay. Next is explain any 4 factors affecting the working capital requirement of an organization. Please see the question properly, because here working capital they are given. Now just now we saw the dividend decision one. Here we have financial capital factors, requirements affecting. So these two, that is your working capital and financial capital requirements, are very, very, very important questions. And they will ask you for 4 marks. You have to write any 4. There are 5 points, and a few of the point names may be resembling the same. So nature of business. A trading organization usually needs a smaller amount of working capital compared to a manufacturing organization. So when a trading, trading means selling to other countries or places, that is called trading. When that, usually for that trading, we need only small amount of working capital, that is your cash in hand, cash at bank. So we need only few amount is more than enough than compared to manufacturing, because for manufacturing we need machinery, employees, right? So than a manufacturing organization, a trading organization will use only little amount of money. Next is scale of operation. The organization with higher scale of operation requires higher amount of working capital. Okay. The organization with lower scale of operation requires less amount of working capital. So those organizations who think that higher scale, we need a big square feet or big land to put our business, we need very expensive exported, imported, all kinds of machinery, everything. When they are investing so much, they will be needing more of working capital. So when they are investing a small, lower, it is little money, they will be needing only less amount of working capital. Next is credit allowed. A liberal credit policy results in higher amount of debtors, increasing the requirements of working capital. So liberal, which means not responsible at that time, the credit policy, when it is not that much responsible and not that much accurate, at that time what their credit policy will be needing a higher amount of debtors, which will increase the requirement of working. So when the money is used more, the working capital also is needed in more only. Next is level of competition. Higher level of competitiveness may increase the working capital requirement. So when an organization is thinking that we should be good, we should increase our quantity than the other organization, at that time, at the same time, you have to increase your machineries, technologies, your employees experience, their capability, everything you have to increase. For that you need money. When you are investing that much, your working capital requirement also will increase. Next is seasonal factors. In peak season, because of higher level of activity, larger amount of working capital is required. When the level of activity is less, working capital requirement will be less. For example, now see, in your summer season, your ice creams will be a lot of demand. So like a peak season, a business will be having a peak season like that only. So a selling of ice cream also is a business only. For example, I am saying, so at that time there will be a high demand for it, and the higher level of activities are done. So their business is going on. When their business is getting larger, they should invest a large amount of working capital is required. So in your winter seasons, the demand for ice cream is not that much. Okay, few may be affording it, few may not. So when the demand decreases, the amount of working capital also will be less only. So next is explain any 4 factors affecting the fixed capital requirement of an organization. This is also very, very, very important question and answer, and they may ask you for 4 marks. Sometimes what they do is they ask you both your factors affecting working capital and fixed capital. Explain both also. At that time they will give you as a 8-mark question. So what you have to do, write the introduction. So when you are starting a fixed capital requirement, write the introduction, what is a fixed capital requirement, then start the points. Then next, write again the introduction of working capital, then start your points. So the point is nature of business. See, same points as I told, points may be same, but little the meaning may be different. Trading concern needs lower investment in fixed assets compared with the manufacturing organization. Manufacturing organization requires more amount of fixed capital. So here what they are saying, a trading concern who is selling the products, okay, for them, right, they need a lower investment because they are only the selling process is done over here, and for them the investment of money on the fixed asset, because it is fixed, they can't do any changes after that, so it is fixed, so the investment also will be less than when compared to a manufacturing organization. So as I told, for a manufacturing organization you have to keep a machinery, big place for putting the machineries, employees, everything. So than that, the trading concern, money is less only, investment is less only. Next is manufacturing organization requires a lot of fixed capital because they are investing a lot, like machinery, tools, employees, everyone. Scale of operation. Larger organization requires higher investment in fixed asset, therefore fixed capital requirement is more. So when you want to start a very large organization, then you have to invest a lot of fixed assets, and the fixed assets demand also will be in high peak. So at that time you need fixed capital requirement is more only over there. Okay. So next point is choice of technique. Capital investment, labor investment. So both are intensive. So capital intensive organization requires higher investment in plant and machinery. The requirement of fixed capital is more. So as you can see, capital investment. So we are investing a lot of capital when a business thinks that, when an organization thinks that they need only a high quality, high in demand, high in technique, increase in technology, all the features, at that time when they choose a plant and machinery, plant means doesn't mean your trees, that and all. It refers to your big factories. Okay. So at that time when you're investing so much money on machinery, of course you need a lot of money for investment. So it requires large amount of fixed capital is more. Labor intensive organization requires less investment in fixed assets. Therefore, fixed capital requirement is less. Fixed asset, as you know, the machineries, tools, when the organization chooses to start with the labor intensive, that is working with the employees, workers. So they and all, when they work, we need only their qualification. Okay, so their qualification, they use a lot of employees in this labor intensive, and they don't use that much of the fixed asset, that is your machinery, tools. So at that time, they need not have to invest a lot of fixed capital over here. Next is diversification. With diversification, fixed capital requirement increases. So diversification at this time, fixed capital requirement just increase. So you may be wondering, what is diversification? Diversification means of enlarging the business. So if you have an idea of just expanding your business, that time you have to invest more. Or if you have an idea of starting, for example, if you have started poultry farming, that is your growing of farm animals. So if you want to now you are doing poultry farming, next you have an idea of doing the vegetable farming. At that time you need to invest a lot. So that is only called diversification, and there you need a fixed capital requirement also increases. Next is, what is financing decision? Explain any 4 factors affecting financing decision. So the answer is, financing decision is about the quantum, that is amount of finance to be raised from various long-term sources. Short-term sources are studied under the working capital management. So here, as you can see, the question is only financing decision. So it is related to finance. So they are saying it is about the amount of finance to be raised from various long-term sources. Long-term, for a long time, when we are using those sources, how much money can be taken from that? So for example, when you are using only machineries, it is for a long term, it will be there, right? Machinery until your business is existing. From each machinery, when it is producing 10 products, according to that you get money. Okay, money is raised. Okay, quantum amount of finance to be raised from various long-term sources. So money is raised from them. Short-term sources are studied under the working capital management. So under working capital management only the short-term sources are studied. Or sometimes, right, your machineries may be in a old condition. Technology has increased, but your machinery is still in that old. Like that time, you have to put some finance to it to just increase it or buy a new machinery. Okay, so both may be the same for long-term sources of financing decision. And short-term are studied under working capital. So as you know, working capital, cash in hand, cash at bank. So those only. Factors affecting financing decisions. So what are the factors which affect cost? The cost of raising funds through different sources are different. So when we want to raise fund from each source, there may be each source like manufacturing one, then trading one, production, so many may be there. So when we raise fund, take fund from each of them, so different sources are different. So each source may give you how much our cost. It may be just very difficult to know on which of the source is giving us a lot of profit or loss. Okay. Next is risk. The risk associated with each of the sources is different. So each of the sources, when we are taking fund from them, sometimes there may be risk, or sometimes it may be very smoothly going, or sometimes there may be risk between the fund wherever we have invested, and there may be just fight between us. So that those are some of the risk. Okay, each business may be in fight like that. Flotation cost. Higher the flotation cost, less attractive the sources. Flotation cost. So now see, many of the places you might have seen, they invest a lot of money, but still that is not so much attractive. They invest a lot of money in machinery. For example, you are in a cloth factory. textile factory, they will be affording a lot of high technology, highly equipped all the machinery, investing lot of money on it, but still the sources are not attractive. Now see, how much ever you invest, you should have an idea of developing a new idea. So if you are producing a t-shirts, you should do in a different styles, different colors, different patterns. Then only the consumers will feel attractive and the source also will increase. If you are just purchasing higher technologies and think that okay, the higher machineries will do everything, if you see like that, nothing won't happen. So it is less attractive. So next is flotation cost. I would like to say one more thing also. How much ever we invest, we have to see that whether it is useful or not. Okay, some of the companies, right, how much ever higher they invest, according to that the products also will be attractive. So it depends on them. Okay, state of capital market. Health of the capital market may also affect the choice of source of fund. Example, during the period when stock market rising, more people invest in equity. So health of the capital market may also affect. So sometimes see, for example, you think as I told in one example, as this summer season ice creams demand increase and in winters ice cream demand decrease. So at the summer, when the ice cream demand decreases, he would just bring lot of varieties in ice cream. So he will be thinking of an idea so that his business would increase. So at that time he will have a lot of stock of ice creams and his demand also will be increasing because he is having a lot of variety, lot of flavors and the cheap price. So those and all, because of that only the his profit is increasing. Okay, next is mention the factors affecting the choice of capital structure. This is a practical oriented question, and out of 14 I have written only 11. Okay, you can write any 10. So it comes in order. You can write in a flow like cash flow position, interest coverage ratio, ICR, debt service coverage ratio, DSCR, return on investment, ROI, cost of debt, cost of equity, tax rate, risk consideration, stock market condition, regulatory framework, flexibility, flotation cost, control. Okay, so any 10 you can write. You can read in a flow because these are all easy ones which you can remember. And see, cash flow statement, interest coverage ratio, debt service coverage ratio, then return on investment, then cost of debt, cost of equity, tax rate, risk consideration. Then you can write stock market condition or flexibility, flotation cost, control. So these are all very easy. I am not saying you have to just buy at this. Whichever is comfortable to you, you can just go through the points. So next is next you have what is capital budgetary decision. So it is a 2 marker. If they ask you 2 marker, you have to write the meaning and example. If they ask you for 1 mark, you have to write only the meaning. So long-term investment decision is called capital budgetary decision. Example, investment in a new machine to replace an existing one, opening a new branch. So when you want to start a new business or invest a new machinery which has high in technology, high in benefits, everything, at that time you have to invest a lot. So that is called capital budgetary decision. So we are taking a decision to how much we want to invest money according to our budget. So our budget may be 5 lakhs. According to that, we may be investing money and taking decision that which machinery will come within 5 lakhs. Like that. For example, I have told, okay, need not write that example, write this only. Okay. Last concept is explain briefly the factors affecting capital budgetary decision. So if they ask you for 4 marker, as here they have given only 3 points. You can write the introduction. Just now we saw, right? This introduction you can write. The rate of return. A point, okay. Rate of return, the calculation are based on the expected returns from each project and the assessment of risk involved. So for example, when you are purchasing a high quality, highly improved in technology a machinery, That time you invest a lot and you expect that, yes, I have invested so much money, of course I will get so much at least return from it. So like that, many projects may be there in your business, okay, like manufacturing, production, finance, anything. So how this each department I will get money, okay, and there how many risk is involved. We don't know what risk may be occurring, okay. Those and all is unpredictable risk and all. Next is investment criteria. It involves amount of investment, interest rate, cash flow, rate of investment. So investing criteria, investing idea, what are those? What it involves is amount of, how much we invest and how much interest we get from that investment. Then cash flow, there are, of course, I know accounting students will be knowing what is cash inflow and cash outflow. I would like cash inflow means, just for information, just know it, what is it. Cash inflow means receiving money. Cash is inflow, it is coming in, okay, so that is receiving money. Cash outflow, that is going out. So payment of money, we are paying someone money, so it is going out, right, from our pocket, for it is going to the other pocket. So the money from our pocket is going to other pocket, like that. Rate of return, so whatever we have invested, according to that what rate we get, that is your interest rate, like that, okay. Next is cash flow of the project. Cash flows are in the form of series of cash receipts and cash payments over the life of an investment. So how a cash flows in a project is, you might have not paid any payments, so you have to just the money flows, like we have not done any payment, we pay our money, so we are our money is going, so it is outflow, it is going out. Sometimes it may be cash receipts, that time we may be receiving our money, okay. See here, cash inflow, cash receipts both mean the same. Cash payments and cash outflow, it also both mean the same. If I am saying anything wrong, I am sorry, but similar, as you can see, the meaning refers similarly, right? Okay, so it is related over the life of an investment. How much we have invested, according to that only we will get receipts or payments. So if you have that's it, this chapter is over. So if I have understood or didn't understand anything, or you have any problem with my teaching, you can just comment in the comment box, which will encourage me to do my further more videos. So like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.